Hi everyone, my name is Violet, and welcome back to Resident Evil 1 Remake. I am going to warn you ahead of time that I may or may not have... I may or may not have already tried to play this, and may or may not have had some audio issues. And due to that, I have to restart Jill's story. So, that's what I'm going to do. Alright, so I will do just regular Jill outfit and just go from there. I am going to skip past the beginning cutscene, mainly because it's identical to Chris's story, so there's not really much point in it.
Alpha team is...
Alright. Save, save, save. Enter the survival horror.
There are only 3 STARS members left now. Captain Wesker, Barry, and myself. We don't know where Chris is.
And already the divergence.
What is this place?
Not quite your ordinary house, that's for sure.
Hey, Wesker, where's Chris?
Jill, no! You don't want to go back out there.
But we've got to find...
What was that?
Chris?
No.
Jill, go and investigate.
Alright.
I'm going with her. Chris and I go back a long way.
Alright. You two go. I'll secure this area.
Stay sharp.
Okay. So already the differences. As I said before, Chris and Jill's story, they are different. Chris's story starts with, of course, Chris, Jill, and Wesker in the hall, and Jill stays behind, whereas Jill's starts with her, Barry, and Wesker in the hall, and Barry basically goes with Jill and becomes a big part of, and is a big part of her story. And that's mainly because Jill is actually easier to play. She has an easier playthrough than Chris does. She has more inventory slots, as well as... Well, yeah, she has more inventory slots as well as a lockpick that she can get to avoid having to search around for the old keys. So it's honestly just a good time.
You better take a look at this.
What is it?
And a bit refreshing after playing Chris's playthrough.
Jill, see if you can find any other clues. I'll be examining this. Let's just hope it's not Chris's.
Okay. A main difference, though, is actually how you deal with this. Because in this playthrough, you don't even have to worry about this guy. You just go back through the door.
Barry!
And this is why.
Look out! It's a monster!
Let me take care of it. What the hell is this thing?
I found Kenneth killed by this thing. Let's report this to Wesker.
And also, Jill doesn't, well, at least I believe, yeah, Jill doesn't start with a lighter. You actually have to find that for her to be able to burn bodies. crazy. Alright. And now we go back to the hall.
Wesker! Jill, help me look for him. Let's not leave this wall.
Good idea.
Mm-hmm. So, we just look around. And then go back down.
Barry.
Any luck, Jill?
No, nothing. What's going on around here? I can't figure it out.
Same here.
Chris, and now Wesker.
There's not much we can do. We can search for him separately. I'll investigate the dining room again.
Okay, then. I'll try the door on the other side.
This mansion is gigantic. We could easily get lost. Let's start from the first floor.
Okay.
Oh, I almost forgot.
And here it is.
You'd
Perfect.
make better use of it.
Oh my lord. I cannot explain enough how ecstatic I am that I don't have to look for old keys to open doors now.
Got it?
Okay.
Alright. Let's have at it. Alright. Let's do this. Just go ahead and push this thing open here. Give me the map. Now let me push this back. Let's see if I can get lucky and get past this zombie, or if I have to use the sub-weapon. Alright. Defensive items. Basically just hit L2 or left trigger for people on Xbox, and it'll just automatically use the sub-weapon. This also functions differently, of course, so you can have as many sub-weapons as you want. They don't interfere with your inventory. Just in case you haven't seen previous episodes with, like, the Chris playthrough or whatnot. Alright. Alright. Yep, I gotta. Well, regardless, I don't need back in here, so you can stay in there. That's the sword key. Alright. And now, gotta go across here. I think I'm actually gonna get more done, possibly, in this video than I did in the first one with Chris. I hope, anyway. Mainly because I can just unlock these doors instead of being stuck behind them. And the thing is, I know where most of those doors are, so it's just not an issue. Oh, yeah. Kenneth, I'll take his videotape that you can't watch at all for most of the game. Alright. Okay. Take this handgun magazine. I'll take these herbs. For the time being. It is honestly great to not have to... Ugh. I keep forgetting that when you play, like, Resident Evil 0, 0 has this thing where when you go downstairs, you still, like, have to watch the animation of the character going down the stairs. Which is a problem, in my opinion. It kind of breaks up the gameplay a bit, and I'm not a fan of it. Got him. Alright, good. And we go this way. And we get the golden arrow. Use the status screen to examine. Yes, I shall. Arrowhead looks like it can be removed. Give me that Peridot arrow. I'll take more handgun ammo, because I'm going to need it. Okay, that's locked from the other side. And this is unlocked. It should lead to the second floor dining room, I believe. And then you need the sword key for that. Well, I'll take that sub-weapon. I'm actually not going to take chances with this one in close quarters, so... Come on now. I knew it. Well, that's a problem. Bleed. Please. Okay, he's bleeding. Alright, get me out of there. Alright. Okay, so you go out here. And, of course... when you come out here, there are a few things that remain similar. So, of course, like I've said before, in games like this, there are certain times where, like, playthroughs will seem identical. They're just, like, minor differences sometimes, and then other times there are major differences. It just depends on the game and the console generation it usually came out. This one was still in the vein of, like, the older games, because it only came out, like, 5 or 6 years after the original Resident Evil. Key embedded in the back. Yes. And then it's going to tell me about the Faces of Death. Yeah, the 4 masks. Mask speaks no evil, smells no evil, sees no evil, and one mask that can do none of those. When they all fall into place, evil will awaken. Alright. Alright. Now that I have the key, head back into the house. I am going to combine that. I'm going to grab that so that I can put it in the item box when I get there. And away we go. Also, I am probably going to be talking a bit more with Resident Evil 1 just because there's not a lot of music. So the game itself has issues, in my opinion, due to that. And I think that the fact that it does not have music kind of holds it back to an extent. Like, I get what they were going for. The idea of, like, oh, it's supposed to be scary, it's supposed to be eerie, there's not a lot of music playing. There are times for me where the eeriness does not bother me, and that's mainly just because, like this music right here, if there was more stuff like this throughout the game, it would be great for me. But not having any music does not really add to the eeriness, in my opinion. Okay, I'll use the lockpick. I believe that opens the door to the balcony. Let me check it really quick. If it doesn't, that would be fine and also makes sense. Okay, yeah, this is the balcony. And that opens that door next to the second floor dining room. Alright, let's go this way. Oh well. Don't know if anybody just saw that, but it just popped up. My Wi-Fi connection was out. Not that it really matters. Alright. Alright. Oh, find the kerosene canisters and such down here, but I don't think you find the lighter down here. I think that's upstairs somewhere. Yeah, he's been dead for several hours. It's supposed to be like a tutorial for Crimson Heads or something. Oh, yeah. These are the instructions, just a rundown. I'm not going to read everything in detail. I'll only, like, read it in detail if it's, like, specific to Claire's playthrough usually, but I'll give a general rundown. Well, specific to Jill's playthrough. I think I just said Claire's. If I didn't, just ignore that. But yeah, it's the methods of destruction. Incineration or destruction of the head. Pretty simple. Pretty straightforward. Alright. I'll be taking that. I'll be taking that. Actually, I will be putting the knife away because I no longer need it. I'll leave the first aid spray there. I'm gonna put this other healing item away. Which, with Jill, you don't really have to have that whole thing of, like, leaving the, like, ink ribbons in the box like you do with Chris. With Chris, it's a bit more tedious because he has, like, he literally has 2 less inventory slots. Jill has 8, Chris has 6. It's just another way that they differed the characters. Because Jill definitively has just, like, the more fun playthrough. I think growing up, I often watched my brother just play as Jill because she got better weapons and was also just, it was just more smooth to go through the game. It was just more fun to go through the game. Ah, here we go. Battery pack. So battery packs you pick up for Jill's stun gun. I'll take that ink ribbon. Thank you. Alright. I don't have the flask yet, so... No. I believe this door at the end of the hall is an armor door. I think it's the armor key. And I would be right. Oh yeah, that's a problem. Also, no, I'm sure I'll find another save room before then. Is not a problem. Alright. Alright. So... The main... the main thing I want to show is, like, how things can differ in this playthrough. So, I'm going to. Whenever I get the shotgun, you'll see the difference. Okay, that's the armor core. Well, armor. Oh, armor core. No. Armored door. I'm going to go get the shotgun, and it's actually going to be really easy and simple. But also isn't going to be, like, a problem of any sort. Because you can actually get the shotgun in a different way than Chris does, which is actually a lot of fun. So you get, like, a unique cutscene for it as well. Okay, give me the dog whistle. Alright. Let's just get that out of the way. And there's the lighter right there. Okay. Alright. Go get the second floor map. And make my way down to that save room to do whatever I need to do. Yeah, I get it. Okay, let's do that. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'll save that for when I have a more open inventory. In this game, you can't just put herbs over other herbs and combine them. It just does not work. Because it didn't work in the original game either. Alright, make my way downstairs. Okay, I'm gonna go in here. They really do just love their safe rooms underneath the stairs. Okay, there's the kerosene canister. I'll take this handgun ammo. Lantern on top of the supplies. Okay, now, put away the shotgun. Well, the broken shotgun. And for the time being, I'll put the shotgun shells away. And pick up the kerosene canister. Probably not going to use this nearly as much in this playthrough as I did in Chris's. Mainly because Chris has a harder time getting through the game. I'm also going to try to shoot for Jill's good ending as well, where I save everybody that I can and whatnot. So we'll see how it goes. Alright. A lot of doors in this place. Alright, just gonna really quick. Oh, don't gotta worry about you no more. Alright. This door's unlocked. Now we can just loop right around, get the lighter, and go burn that body downstairs. I'm honestly legitimately glad I went back to finish this game originally. If I hadn't gone back to play this game and like give it another shot and like give Zero another shot, like I don't think I would be playing this on the channel right now. But yeah, in all honesty, the way I grew up, we didn't exactly know we didn't exactly know the difference between a good game and a bad game. And it was mainly because you just grew up playing whatever was bought for you. So there are a lot of games that I have love for that have bad mechanics or bad story but are fun to play, and sometimes you just gotta learn to love a game for what it is and find the enjoyment in that game with that. I know with Resident Evil 1, like, the enjoyment I have for this game is it brings me back to like playing the original Resident Evils and like the fun, the joy that brought me. And it's also easier to play. Oh, sorry about that. Mainly because they have a different control set that isn't the tank controls, and it works a lot better for that reason. Okay, I'm not gonna need that for a bit. Alright. Alright, saving content. Alright. This is where I'm going to end this one off. And next time, we are going to pick back up with me going to get the shotgun. Alright, well. Until next time, I've been Violet Eclipse, and stay safe out there. Have a good one.